Okay, another person says, my son has motivational issues when it comes to teach him. I use a reinforcer like pieces of cornbread, but after I give him the reinforcer, he asks for a break. He is 6. He asks for the break a lot, every 2 words that we practice. So what would you like to say about that?
You definitely need what we call a reinforcement inventory. You can't depend on just one reinforcer for any child out there. You know, you need a whole range, and you need to know what's the strongest reinforcer, what's the middle level, and what might get by, you know. And you need to take in situations where with food, you can't satiate on it. Okay, because the minute if he gets all of the cornbread right away and he's done, there's nothing to work for anymore. When I used to be a therapist, we used to laugh because we used to take, like, you know, the mini M&Ms, and I'd have parents cut the mini M&Ms in half. Looked at me like, really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because I need him to work as much as he can, and I need as many trials to happen as fast as possible. So yeah, we're gonna split these mini M&Ms into 2 pieces. You know, like right now, this is what we're not gonna do it forever, but until he figures out that getting things right is reinforcing in itself, we need supplementary material, and we need a lot of it. So the kids that like music, you know, the beginning of The Lion King, when Mufasa, that first, like, I used to make for a kid go 3 hours for each part of just the beginning. And then at the very end of the session, he could hear the whole song.
That's awesome.
And the parents would just, initially they'd be like, what are you doing? This isn't reinforcing. But for the kid, it was enough to just hear like that 1 or 2 seconds for every part of the song. And, you know, and it varied. And we only did that for a little while because I just needed him to get to the point where the pairing of my positive words paired with whatever the reinforcer was, that it was a good thing. So once he was happy to just interact with me or tickles or whatever it is that was like momentary, and I didn't have to rely on the tangible food or tangible toy or whatever it was, it was so much better. But at the beginning, I will make things last. And if you give all of something to somebody all at once, they do stop working for it because their motivation is done. That's all they wanted. It's the same reason that if you're giving your child video games or music or toys, I always recommend, all of us do, that during, you know, outside of therapy, they have no access to those things, because the value of that reinforcer then rises even more during therapy so that they're going to work longer. And reinforcement is it's a tricky thing, and you have to bring it in and out. And you have that strong reinforcers that you're going to give for new, really good behaviors, for effort. And then you have the reinforcers that they might like, but isn't like that cornbread, that you're giving for information that he's exchanging that is pretty easy for him, and he's learned it already. And so varying it and not letting them satiate on it really does help keep them working. But it sounds like the 6-year-old has figured out that once I get the cornbread, I'm done. So.
Well, and forgive my ignorance, because I don't know, but it sounds like, you know, there's always that thing about the preference assessment, about what does somebody really want? We just went through this on Mother's Day, where my husband was like planning this menu to make me this meal. And I had to stop him. And I was like, I got to be honest, if you really want to do something for me, cooking for me is not going to be the thing. Cleaning for me is going to be the thing, right? So I told him, right? I told him, this is the thing that's going to do it for me. Like, you know, clean the house. That's what will make me happy. So he could have cooked the whole meal and I would have sat and enjoyed it. Like, I enjoy when he cooks for me, but then I would have been like, but can you also clean the house, right? And so you're giving him the cornbread, and the cornbread might be great, but then he goes, can I have a break? Which sounds like to me what he really wanted was the break. Maybe you don't even need the cornbread. Am I ignorant?
Yeah.
Is it a possibility?
If you have a BCBA, have them teach you how to do preference assessments outside of their therapy with him. Because if you can, preference assessments are pretty easy. My favorite is a paired choice one, where it's basically you introduce 2 of something, they choose one, and you continue to combine choices of 2 where they make it, and then you have a hierarchy of what they want. A lot of times though, like when I walked in a house as a therapist, whatever the kid was playing with when I walked in became the reinforcer for that. Yeah. I'd just pluck it out of their hands. I'd be like, okay, you get 2 more minutes. Okay, now it's mine. And for the next 2 hours, I'm there, like, because they loved it. They're already showing what they want to interact with. And that helped because then it was just like, I didn't even have to think about, what other things, people used to say, like, you have your magic bag of reinforcers. It wasn't so much a magic bag as the kids just saw it as something that they hadn't seen or they hadn't had access to, and it only came with a therapist.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the same idea of what I tell parents about, with all the things around you in your house. I'm a big fan, especially for like the age of 6-year-olds, of doing the once a month you fill a laundry basket full of toys that they like and you put it away for a month until 2 weeks or whatever. And then 2 weeks pass and you bring it out and it's like, wow, it's Christmas again. And then you take a different set of toys and you fill it up and you put it away. And that rotation of toys really keeps things very interesting where they want to go, have access to it, whatever it may be. But yeah, have your BCBA teach you how to do a preference assessment, do a reinforcement inventory to figure out what those things are. And then the combination and access level, you'll be able to get him to do a lot. It sounds like he's really smart.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.